Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Meet the Vendors for the Central Canadian Wedding Conference. The CCWC comes into Brandon, Manitoba, November 1st and 2nd. Keystone Center, tickets and all the information you could possibly want. Everything available at theccwc.net. And joining me today, by the way, hi, my name is Brian. I get to look after some of the MC duties. I'm one of the co-organizers, and I get to have great chats with people like this, Mr. Rob LOVATT. How are you, Rob?
Hey, pretty good. How are you doing today, Brian?
I'm doing fantastic, thanks. It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
It is. Oh, it's fun. Give us a little 4-in-1 on who you are, Mr. LOVATT.
Well, my name is Rob. I'm with Key West Photo here in Brandon, and we have been in business as a full-time professional photography studio and lab services for, 25 years plus, more than 25 years. And we have a full team that handles weddings and commercial work and headshots and all kinds of business applications and industrial applications and anything that we can do that is photography and a little bit of video related, even marketing campaigns and professional digital lab print services. So we've been in this for a long time.
You have a really, really unique perception and view of people, because you get to see it through a lens and you get to see their personalities come through and that sort of stuff. And I'm really specifically thinking about, say, like a headshot or whatever it might be. What do you find is what do you find yourself doing or looking for when you're taking those shots?
Well, it's interesting. When we're doing a headshot, for example, we've got just a minute, maybe not even that long, to try to bring out something in someone that's relaxed and approachable and someone that gives off the feeling that will present the viewer with an opportunity to like or get to know the person, or to say to themselves, that's the person I want to do business with, right? And because every industry is different and every profession has a different persona and vibe, we find ourselves very quickly trying to assess a situation so that we're giving the proper due diligence and respect and overall look, depending on the industry that we're working in, whether it's somebody in the creative side, or whether it's somebody in the wedding industry, or whether it's somebody in the financial or law area. Everything's a little bit different and has to be handled a little bit differently. And so try to bring the best out in that person so that it suits what they do.
Your presentation is going to be about branding you. Give us some detail on the whole, a synopsis on the whole thing.
Using the examples of weddings, a wedding is a really huge, important milestone in a person's life, obviously. And so us as a studio, and I know everybody who's in the wedding industry, they take it seriously, or they aspire to take it seriously. It's very much an invitation into what could be a private, even intimate moment within the course of someone's life, in the course of someone's history. And so when you're invited into that, there's a certain respect and dignity and certain weight that comes with that, right? Yeah. And so the key to doing that is to make sure that everything that you do when you're interacting with the bride, the groom, the parents, the grandparents, cousins, siblings, everybody, is that you're not leaving anybody out. You're not blowing by anybody. That you give everybody their little amount of time as a contributor to that overall timeline to the bride and the groom, right? So it's a delicate balance between all the people that are involved, but it's also something that, again, you have to take with a certain amount of clarity and weight to it.
So when it comes to branding yourself and so on, let's give a quick 30 or 45 seconds of a giveaway, a takeaway, shall we say, a little piece of meat that people can utilize. What would you say is a good suggestion on a great way of branding?
Yeah. Well, find out what's important to you. The best way that I can explain that is to explain what's important to me. Being that we've worked with both families, brides, and commercial aspects within our long career and our studio career, is the most important thing to us is people and families, really. And so when I approach anything, I approach it with the idea, which is an old tradition, that treat everybody as though they're the most important person you will meet that day, which is a very a simple way of approaching it. I know a lot of people that do this and do a really great job of it, but it holds true for everything. It holds true for every business, every venture, every wedding, and that, not just the bride or the groom. It could be the flower girl who's 3 years old. And, it goes such a long way. One of my favorite aspects, just to tell a little bit of a story here, is we recently had a wedding within the past year that was, it was a second wedding. It was an older couple that were well into their 70s. And so it was two couples that were friends for 40 plus years. And through the course of their lives, the spouse from one couple passed away, and then the opposite spouse of the other couple passed away. And they really leaned on each other for support while they were going through these that were really tough times. And they became so close, and they knew each other so well through the course of their lives, that they themselves ended up getting married. And it was such a treat and an honor to photograph their wedding into their 70s. Like I say, they were just, it was as though they became young again. And everything they did was to cherish and, really, they just found this youth that was just apparent in everything that they did. And it was such an amazing thing. And so when I'm working with people and branding myself to people, that's the kind of thing that I want to put across, is that that time and family and life is fleeting. And so the reason us as a photographer want to do anything is because we're actually preserving history, which is why we print and always encourage people to print and make albums and things like that, so that 40 years from now, you have something to look back on and you have something to show kids and grandkids. And so with us and our brand, and my brand in particular, that's really, really important.
Thanks, Rob. Excellent advice as always. It is going to be such a treat to have you up on stage at the CCWC Friday, November 1st. Can't wait to have you there. Again, if you're just checking us out and seeing things for the first time, or maybe you just need a little reminder, the website is simple. The CCWC.net has all the information on all of our presenters, Rob included, and the tickets and passes and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see you there. And Rob, again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.